Hoy día tenemos el placer de estar con el speaker principal de ICARE, que viene desde Londres, de Reino Unido, es Peter Field, que además tiene una trayectoria maravillosa, más de 22 años trabajando como consultor en marketing, 15 años dedicado a hacer múltiples estudios para llegar a distintas audiencias, para llegar con un mensaje correcto que nos haga sentido. How are you, Peter? You're welcome here in Chile.
Thank you very much. I'm very well, thanks, and enjoying Chile very much. But I think it's a brilliant bringing together of a lot of really good people and very good content too. So I'm very flattered to be invited and I think good things will come of this conference.
What does effective marketing really mean?
Well, simply put, it means do we achieve the objectives that we set out? But let me qualify that for a moment, because for too many marketers, the objectives are not business ones, and that is a big mistake. So we need to have a clear idea of what our marketing is going to achieve in business terms. And at the end of the day, that adds up to profit. So effective marketing achieves its business goals, and it does so with efficiency, so we don't waste money. And a big part of what I've been talking about here today is about how much money we waste trying to achieve these business goals, because we don't have spare money in the world anymore.
You have warned the industry about the risk of boring advertising. Why is that a problem, and what are we losing in terms of effectiveness?
Well, boring advertising has two big problems. One is it doesn't work very hard, so we have to have a lot of money if we want to get any results from it. The second problem that we have with dull, boring marketing, boring advertising, is that it tends to only produce very short-term effects. That's part of its costliness. We only get immediate effects generally. We don't get long-lasting effects, which is really what we want.
How does short-term thinking affect marketing today?
We know that marketers are now very short-term focused, so this is a big issue. It makes you chase immediate results, and when you chase immediate results, you inevitably underperform in the long term. So it's a very corrosive problem that we have. You do different kinds of advertising, hard selling, informational advertising is what you do when you go short. You serve it to small, tightly targeted groups of people, and you use different media. So it's a very different model to what you need to do if you want to drive long-term effect.
What makes a campaign effective? What role does creativity still play in that?
Creativity plays an enormous role in effectiveness. What we look for and what we see time and time again in effectiveness case studies is an emotional response to that advertising. And we want the brand to be emotional as well in the same way. So emotional advertising, first of all, we notice it. Even when I'm not buying that product, I will notice emotional advertising because it's interesting. I remember it better, so it has a much greater effect. And also, ultimately, it's more persuasive to me. Brands that I like, I feel good about. So I buy them, I'll pay more for them. So it affects everything. If we can get an emotional response, but one that relates to the strengths of our brand, then that is the golden ticket to growth.
How artificial intelligence is changing marketing, but it's helping creativity or making everything more generic? How do you feel it?
Well, first of all, I think artificial intelligence has some hugely exciting potential to offer us. But like any new tool, it also has some potentially worrying sides to it. So I welcome it, but cautiously. So one of the great benefits, I think, of AI is our ability to execute great creativity, great ideas very quickly. And we can use that certainly to learn about how well it works or whatever. But I do think that the best way, at the moment anyway, to use artificial intelligence for the benefit of creativity is to still have humans involved in the development of the ideas and to give AI a very clear brief about what you want it to do. I don't really believe in handing the whole problem over to AI and just say to it, make me an ad about a painkiller. I think you've got to give it more. That's where humans remain supreme. Now, somebody, to me, described AI as like a knife. It can do some very useful things, but it can also do some very damaging things. And we have to be careful that AI just doesn't become the next damaging tool, eliminating creative originality, eliminating our ability to employ people as well. This is my big concern. We'll become a world of vegetables who can't think for themselves.
Peter, the last question is about marketing and sustainability. How the campaigns or the companies have to look forward about this, like climate crisis, the challenges that are related with environment to do effectiveness in the different audiences.
Anyone who's worried about the environment, which I certainly am, and I hope everyone listening to this is, has to welcome marketers who embrace those problems and seek to find solutions. So I have to welcome sustainability in marketing for that reason. But I think we all need to realize that it's very difficult to make it work for us as a selling tool. It's been widely criticized in many developed economies as a dead end. Now, I don't share that. I think if we learn how to do it well, sustainability can help us sell our products, and we have to welcome that because we want consumers to buy more sustainably.
But we have the risk of the greenwash.
There is, of course, a big risk of greenwash, and that is one of the big reasons why many attempts to use sustainability to sell products has failed, and quite rightly so too. If you're trying to mislead me, then you deserve to fail. But there are many marketers who are genuinely trying to do good things, and it's really important that they understand that you have to create a link between your sustainability message and your product quality message, because people buy products because of how good they are.
Yeah.
If I don't like your product, it doesn't matter how sustainable it is, I won't buy it. You've got to find that magic link. And some companies are quite good at it. You know, Unilever have done it quite well on a number of occasions. It is never easy, never easy. But please try.